Okay, so now we're going to be dealing with step functions. So looking at a step function, this is what a step function looks like, which is f of x equals, and then you can see it's double square brackets, so it looks kind of like that. So that's what the function is defined as. And you can see it looks like a step. So, and what's important about the step function is you'll notice that the leftmost side is always the solid point. The rightmost is always the open circle. So we have a step function here. It says from x values 0 to 1, the answer is 0, which is the y value. From 1 to 2, the answer is 1. From 1 to 3, the answer is 2. I'm sorry, from 2 to 3, the answer is 3. From 3 to 4, the answer is 3. From 4 to 5, the answer is 4, and so on. So it's considered a step. So that's where that chocolate bar example kind of came in. And that's really what it's describing. If you know it to that level, you'll be good. So we're going to be graphing a step function. Greatest integer function is really kind of considered the same thing. So we're just going to look at this one in this particular case. But we have this 1/2 of x plus 1. So if you recall, if I have a plus 1 here, that means the entire step moved up 1. So remember that initially with my step function, it started here at 0, 0, and then it went over here to, in this particular case, 1, 0, right? Remember our x is first. So that means we go to 1, 0, then we bump up, and then we go to 1, 1, and from 1, 1, we go to 2, 1, and so on. Okay, so we start at 0, 0. So we want to use this as our reference point for our parent function. So notice here, we're going to look at all the graphs that went up 1. So notice that this one here went up 1 because it starts off here, so it went up 1. This one went up 1. This one went up 1, and this one went up 1. So none of that plus 1 doesn't help me very much. This 1/2, however, tells me that instead of the step increments being a 1, it's 1/2. So it's shrunk. So it's going, instead of the steps going up faster or going up the same, they're going up slower. So notice this one here goes up 1/2. That one goes up 1/2. That one goes up 1/2. That one could work. That one could work. That one could work, and so none of those help me. So now, so far, we're getting to a point where we don't know which one is the right one. However, if you remember that a step function always starts off with a closed circle here and an open circle here, this is the possibility. This one is not, because it has closed circles on both sides. This one has open circles on both sides, and this has the closed circle on the wrong side, so therefore it has to be B. So B would be my answer. And then over here, taking a look at B, remember we're looking at all the x values. Notice that all the x values run across the entire page here. I can't draw very well with the mouse. So, whoops, not 8. So it goes from -infinity all the way up to +infinity. Okay, so you can kind of see that, we run from here to here, we bump up here to here, right? But at least as we're progressing along the x, we're continuous. There's no break. Now the y is a break. Now notice in this case, we have a break between this value and this value and this value and this value, and it keeps breaking every 1/2 point. So that means in multiples of 1/2, we don't have that particular value. So we're going to take a look at first, the domain is all real numbers, which is all of them. Oh, no, domain is not all of them, so it definitely won't be D. So it's all real numbers, and then the range is all multiples of 1/2. So it would be B. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Okay, so I've been showing you how to use Desmos, especially for the piecewise function. So this is that piecewise function. I did not show you how to do it for the step function. So there is an equation that you can type in, which is this one here, a times floor of 1 over bx plus 2, and you can kind of see what happens to the functions. Now, notice in this case they do 1 over b. In Algebra 1, we don't really teach it that way. We really teach that it's b. because it kind of shows you what's really happening. Just because it's doing the opposite of what some of the things are, don't stress out much about this. But if you want to test it out, you can type it in. So the A is the number that's multiplying on the outside. The B is 1 over the number that you're multiplying on the inside, and the plus K is causing it to go up and down. And that's really the only type of examples that you're going to see in the book, or homework assignment problems that you're going to see in the book. And that's it. So you have 2 checks to do. You have problem 1 and problem 2 only of the second one. Your homework problems, if you were to use the textbook, are these, but of course, those are all located on the Reveal Math website.